Let's get more now on unlocking the potential of Nigeria's agriculture exports. We're joined by Mr. Bamidele Ayemibo, lead consultant at the 3T Ampex Trade Academy and former chairman, Export Group at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Welcome to the program.
How are you?
Let's take a look at international trade before we talk about exports. Nigeria has been engaging in global trade for a very long time, yet the country has not fully benefited from the highly publicized advantages. Why do you think this is so?
Those that benefit from trade are not those that import, but mainly those that export. So export, number one, which we are doing, but the export should be done in a diversified manner, number two, and the export should be done with value addition, number three. So we are doing the first one, which is the export. We're not doing enough in diversification. 6.2% of our export is non-oil, the rest are oil. And then the third one, we're not adding value at all. We're very minimum value addition in product living in Nigeria. So that can account for the reason why we're not getting the benefit of trade in Nigeria.
Right, so you talk about value addition, which brings us to Nigeria's agricultural export. So how can we take advantage of value addition, especially when it comes to non-oil exports from Nigeria, especially, from the agricultural sector?
That's exactly the issue that people have given. That the reason they've given is the fact that we're not competitive, that's why people are not exporting value-added product. But I disagree with that, because currently we still export value-added product, only that we do more to Africa. And here is my take on agric, and I think it's good we begin to look at this in Nigeria. Think about the fact that why should everybody that wants to export be the one processing it? Why am I not thinking of, I export pap, for example, to the UK, and I'm not the one processing it? So that means I can actually do contract production with individuals who already have a factory and produce for me. Now, when everybody is teaming together to be able to get few people to produce for them, we are going to achieve economy of scale, and with the economy of scale, we can really become more competitive. So I think we should begin to think of adding value, not necessarily me being the one to process, but partnering and teaming with people who are already processing to produce for me in my brand name. Then we can begin to consider doing a lot of value-added export from Nigeria.
Right, so when you talk about, teaming up with people to add value, some say regional trade is the way to go. Do you share this view?
Very, that which is why I'm one of the strong proponents of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
Yes,
so having signed that, we are already on the track, considering the fact that majority of our manufactured good goes to West Africa. With the border closure, in the last 3 months, if we compare with the data of last year, we probably would have done about 900, almost $1 billion in export, comparing to the data of last year, 3 months. Because last year we exported a good of about 62 billion, a quarter is about 3-point-something billion, and that comes to about $900-something million in a quarter, actually in a month rather. So in the last 3 months that people have been closed, we've practically, in my opinion, lost about $1 billion because of the lot of people that have not been able to allow to export, which is good is happening now because of the issue, what the government have as issue with our neighbor. So in talking about regional trade, I think adding value, which we already started, only that we're not doing enough, is something we must step up to be able to get the real benefit from the regional trade, talking about African Continental Free Trade Agreement, because we can't export commodity to our neighbors in Africa. Some of them are even worse than us, so they will expect value-added product from us. And like I said, teaming together to be able to ensure that we work with people who are already processing, so that we can help them to reduce their cost. Because when we team with them and they're producing, they can achieve economy of scale. That means they will be producing at a lower cost, and maybe that will help us to be more competitive, which is the concern many people have about being competitive under the African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
And thank you so much for your thoughts on Africa 52. Well, today, Bamidele Ayemibo.
Thank you very much for having me.